They're looking for homes. DeMar DeRozan, fresh off another Kendrick Lamar cameo, probably the best player available. Is there any move the Lakers can make to salvage this offseason?
Well, there really aren't many. Look, I mentioned yesterday Trae Young. They don't seem to have much interest in Trae. I get it. He'd be a max player. Is he getting you over the top? I like Trae there. I think he's a good fit.
Can I ask you a question about that? Did your opinion on that change once they hired Nate McMillan? And Trae and Nate, obviously, that's a big problem.
Yeah, no.
I think that kind of X'd out Trae as a possibility.
I don't think I don't think they're really looking at him with or without Nate, but sure. But, who knows? Maybe they could have reconciled or whatever. I do like Kuzma. I'd give up Rui Hachimura for Kuzma. I like Kuzma there. Sure. But other than that, DeMar DeRozan, I don't know where he's getting his money at. There's talk about the sign and trade. He may have to take the mid-level somewhere. The Lakers have the smaller mid-level available. Could he look at, let me go 1 year somewhere, play really well, and then next year when money opens up for more teams, I can get something. But the bottom line is there really isn't much out there. I think it's going to have to be J.J. Redick really working some magic with the roster, doing some different things. And then the guys that were injured last year that I've mentioned, Gabe Vincent, Jarrett Vanderbilt, Spencer Dinwiddie, who are all pretty good players, them really stepping up, staying healthy, and playing well. That's really how the Lakers are going to improve. And maybe Dalton Knecht. He is 23. So you think, is he ready to play? Yeah, if he gives them something.
Okay. Here's the question. I had a list of free agents here that are still available.
None of them are moving the needle, is I assume what you're going to say.
Well, first of all, a lot of them have already been on the Lakers. Dinwiddie, Beasley, Lonnie Walker, Markieff Morris, JaVale McGee, Tristan Thompson back again if you want him for the fourth time. And then maybe trade targets, Brandon Ingram and Kyle Kuzma. We've already seen this too. But when you're talking about DeMar, and we talked about this yesterday about the Lakers culture compared to Celtics. The Celtics had a plan, and we're like, all right, 3-and-D guys, tall guys, guys that can defend. We're going to shoot a lot of threes. That's our identity. That's who we're going after.
Did you say tall guys is one of them? It's the NBA, bro.
Well, that's true. Everybody's tall, though.
Okay, that's right. I would long defenders is another way to put it, but yeah, I agree.
You want a $10 word?
Long, rangy, athletic,
tall guys.
Team Draymond. But they got to do something else. They're clearly trying to win, which I like, right? They're not just saying, okay, we're going to keep Steph and not try to win. But I don't know what moves they can make. But if they can get Markkanen, I'd be doing everything I could to get him.
But if they can't get Markkanen.
Or Kuminga needs to make a huge jump. Yeah. Kuminga's good. Like last year getting 16, he needs to become a legitimate 20-point scorer, which I think is possible. Now, he doesn't shoot. He's not a shooter, but he can score other ways. And then you need Wiggins to get back. He had been really good with them his first, 4 years with him, averaging about 19 points. Obviously was huge in the finals. And then last year just fell off the map.
The last 2 years. The last 2 years he fell off the map.
Last year he went from 17 points to 12.
He had he was gone and so it's just since the finals and getting the contract, he's been gone. Listen, even if Kuminga ascends, if Jonathan Kuminga in his current or even in his improved form, but not 5 years from now, Jonathan Kuminga, is your second best guy, you're dead. You're dead. Unless your best guy is Jokic Giannis, even if in the Western Conference, you're dead.
I don't know if he's your second best player. He's your second scorer.
But
he's your second best scorer.
But Draymond is going
like this. Draymond does a lot of other things that are huge for him. Last year when he played, they were on a 49-win pace, which is, okay. So but he's still a very good defender, and his offensive intelligence allows him to do a lot of things. So they just need, Wiggins is key.
Yeah, I don't.
Unless they can trust him.
Who it feels like the Lakers wanted for years. Join the Warriors in a decision-making process outlined in The Athletic. There was 4 authors on this article. I'll just read what they wrote. Hield didn't make a final decision until after a late Wednesday night call with Steve Kerr, and then a night to sleep on it. Oh, that's nice. Hield chose the Warriors because of the opportunity to win, per league sources. His suitors included, and we did not make this up, the Detroit Pistons. What does this say about the Lakers, Brew? That they're grouped with The Detroit Pistons.
Well, they're not grouped with the Detroit Pistons. They're much better than the Pistons. You going to argue that?
They did win one more playoff game, so you have.
All right, here we go. This is interesting, Nick, and I think you'll agree, because neither the Warriors or the Lakers are, like, close to a title. Mm-hmm. So it's not like Hield's going somewhere where they expect to win. We'll talk about later. If they can get Lauri Markkanen, sure, then I really like them as a contender. But right now, I would even argue, and we talked about this last year, I think the Lakers are slightly better than the Warriors.
They have been each of the last 2 years.
Right. They're because of AD inside and their size overall, I think they're generally better.
Yeah, and that's not like a hot take, Brew. The Lakers made the playoffs last year. The Warriors didn't. And the year before, the Lakers beat them in the playoffs.
Right.
So go ahead.
It boils down to this, simple and plain, I think. And there are a few other factors, but really he understands, okay, neither the Warriors or the Lakers are really likely to win the championship next year. But if you don't win in L.A., you're the problem and you get the blame. If you don't win in Golden State, you just don't win in Golden State. That's a big difference. Like because whenever LeBron doesn't win, everybody else gets blamed. LeBron has gotten blamed a lot of times, too, in the past. But right now, everybody's like, what does he need? He needs more help. If you don't go there and play great, look at every role player on their team, save maybe Austin Reeves, is being looked at sideways.
No, Austin Reeves got looked at, too.
Okay, so you know what I'm saying? Like Rui and D'Angelo, and I get D'Angelo in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Austin Reeves, but that's the thing. Taurean Prince, who just signed with the Bucks.
Yep.
So I think Hield understands that. Not to mention, the Lakers got a lot going on. It's obviously wherever LeBron's at, it's the microscope is huge because he's LeBron. But then you got the issue with Bronny. Then you got J.J. Redick, a coach who knows whether or not he can coach. And I think Hield also looked at, Steve Kerr, we know he's a great coach. Yeah. J.J. Redick, but who knows?
How about that?
And the assistant coach for Golden State is head coaching. One of the assistants is head coaching the Bahamas national team, which Hield is playing for. So he had a lot of reasons. But I do think ultimately it's like, if we don't win it in L.A., which we're not, I might get blamed. If we don't win Golden State, it's all good.
So all deal with all of those. But I also want to kind of set the record straight on something. The Lakers couldn't sign Buddy Hield. Like this, I thought this, for 4 reporters to be on this story, it's an interesting one. LeBron James was not taking a discount for them to sign Buddy Hield. They don't have the money. So, this was not available to them. Buddy Hield was not choosing. I thought it was really odd reporting that he was choosing between the Pistons, who have cap space, the Warriors, who were able to do it because of the mid-level exception they were able to open up, and then the Lakers, who are not in on it. Like they were previously in previous iterations.
They only have the taxpayer mid-level.
Right, and so they couldn't sign him, so it felt a little opportunistic to put the Lakers in the story because it creates this conversation, which is fine, so be it. But LeBron James was not taking a pay cut to open up space for Buddy Hield, and the only way the Lakers could have gotten Buddy Hield was if LeBron James took a pay cut to open up that space. So I think
that's the absolute only way.
Well, unless you're going to trade Rui Hachimura, trade a player that's going to make the amount of money that he makes. He just got 2 years, $21 million. And I picked Rui, but I guess Gabe Vincent, someone who's making. I don't think
that's
Gabe's
a serious reporting mistake. If that's the case.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
I agree. I think it is a very bad reporting mistake that was. I will say done with good intention, but the Lakers could not get Buddy Hield. And so unless they were going to trade a player away, unless LeBron was going to take a pay cut for it, and LeBron was not taking a pay cut for Buddy Hield, I know that. So that's the first piece of it. The second piece is kind of the more abstract ideas, which is, are the Warriors more attractive than the Lakers who get rid of the CBA stuff for the reasons Brew mentioned? I think a lot of those things are correct. One of the things that jumped out to me that was noteworthy was this. Steve Kerr got him on the phone. And that, to me, is why the Clay thing was frustrating and other things with the Lakers are frustrating. Because I do think it's noteworthy and meaningful for the power brokers and important people in a franchise to talk to a person and sell them on a roll. If your buddy Hield, I bet Steve said, hey, a lot of shots opening up now with Clay gone. You fit what we're doing. Like, I think basketball-wise, there's a lot of reasons. Even though Buddy totally fell out of the rotation with Philly, he was basically DNP coach's decision until their final playoff game. Right. You would have thought they could have used him. So for Buddy Hield seems to be much more sought after by teams that don't have him than the team that he currently is on. For some reason, I don't know. I've always liked the player, and the Lakers obviously were trying to get him for a long time previously. But the other piece of it is, I agree with you that guys around LeBron get a lot more blame than guys around Steph. But don't you also think LeBron gets a lot more blame than Steph? Like, don't you, when the Warriors lose, I think that everything around LeBron is amplified. Right. And so I think blame is amplified on him more than it is on KD or Steph or, whomever is in his tier. And blame is placed on his teammates more. Steph doesn't get much blame at all. At all. I mean, that's why I was, like, when the Warriors lose, it's like, oh, they lost. Nobody's blamed. When the Lakers lose, everybody's blamed. I'm blaming Pelinka, Darvin Ham, teammates, LeBron, whomever. So I think all of it is just so much more amplified.
All right, well, free agency period coming to a close. There's a handful of guys still out